Welcome to your Cyber Tips Explainer, where we make everyday people understand the cyber world around us. So, have you ever been scrolling online and seen a job offer that just seemed, well, a little too good to be true? Today, we are diving headfirst into a scam that is absolutely exploding in our new remote work world, the fake job offer. It kicks off with the promise of your dream job, but it can end with your identity stolen and your bank account totally dreamed. But what if you could see the scam coming? And what if you could even turn the tables on the crooks? Okay, let's get into it. And I want you to really let that sink in. This isn't about losing a few bucks. We are talking about life-altering, potentially life-ruining theft. This quote, it comes from a guy who was literally moments away from handing over the keys to his entire life. Bank details, driver's license, social security number, you name it, all to a total stranger hiding behind the mask of a recruiter. He slammed on the brakes just in time, but you know what? Thousands of others aren't nearly that lucky. And this is the scale of the problem. According to the Federal Trade Commission, people lost a staggering $367 million to job and business scams in a single year. And listen, that's only what gets reported. The real number is probably way, way higher. These scammers are running sophisticated operations, and they are targeting absolutely anyone and everyone who's just trying to find a good opportunity. So, how in the world do you fight back? Well, in this explainer, we're going to follow the incredible story of a YouTuber who decided to walk right into one of these traps just to expose it from the inside. We'll look at the lure of that perfect remote job, we'll unmask the playbook these imposters use, we'll break down their fake money trap, and then, this is the best part, we'll see how he brilliantly turned the tables on them. And finally, we'll give you a solid action plan for building your very own cyber fortress. Okay, so it all starts with the perfect bait. Our hero, a YouTuber who makes it his business to investigate scams, was just scrolling through Upwork, you know, that huge site for freelancers. And that's when he spotted it, a listing that just felt a little too easy, a little too good. So, what did he do? He decided to apply, just to see where the rabbit hole would lead. Right from the jump, the red flags were waving. That is, if you know what to look for. The job was for simple data entry. Okay, but the client's profile showed they had spent exactly $0 on the platform, and the real kicker, their payment method was unverified. That is the trifecta of a scam listing right there. A real company has a history, a footprint. A scammer, well, they always start from zero. Almost instantly after he applied, he gets this message. You see that fake urgency? Your swift and timely response matters a lot. That's a classic pressure tactic to get you to act without thinking. But the real move here is the command, download Telegram, an encrypted messaging app, and leave the safety of Upwork. See, they want you off the regulated platform. They want to get you into a dark alley where there are no rules and no one can see what they're doing. And that little move brings us right to the next phase of the con. The second the scammer gets you into a private, unmonitored chat, their playbook of deception just kicks into overdrive. This is where they start building this whole fake world of legitimacy to trick you into dropping your guard. And this comparison just lays it all out perfectly. Look at what you're giving up the moment you agree to what I call the Telegram pivot. On Upwork, you've got monitored chats, you have payment protection, you can see the client's history. The platform itself is your safety net. The second you move to Telegram, poof, all gone. The chat's encrypted so no one can help you. There's zero payment protection. The person you're talking to is a complete ghost. You have absolutely no safety net. You're on your own. So the scammer then kicks off the so-called interview, a 50-minute text-only chat session. I mean, come on. That should set off every alarm bell you have. What legitimate company hires someone without ever speaking to them on the phone or, seeing their face on a video call? They do this for one simple reason, to hide. They don't want you to hear their accent or see their face because it would give the whole game away instantly. To see just how little attention the scammer was actually paying, our hero creates a totally bogus resume. He claims he worked at Jim Browning University, which is a fun little nod to another famous scam baiter. A real recruiter would have spotted that in about 5 seconds. But this guy, he doesn't even blink. He just replies, "It's a pleasure to meet you." And that right there proves they're not vetting candidates. They are just pushing people through a script to get to the money. So after this fake interview, an official-looking offer letter arrives, and it's from careers@montagpress.com. Now, Montauk Press is a real company, a small publishing house. And this is the point where most people would be totally convinced. It's legit, they'd think. So how is it possible? How can a scammer, likely in another country, send an email that looks like it's coming directly from a real company's server? Well, the answer is a pretty dirty technical trick called domain spoofing. Think of it like this. A company's email domain is supposed to have a digital passport system. That's what things like SPF and DMARC records are. They prove an email is legit. But if a company forgets to set up that security, it's like leaving their passport office doors wide open with the lights on. Literally anyone can walk in, print a fake passport, and send an official-looking email that seems to come from an employee. All right, now we get to the real heart of the scam. They've built your trust with a fake interview and a spoofed email. You think you've got the job. Now it's time for them to cash in by getting you to fall for the fake money trap. This is the most critical part to understand, so listen closely. First, the scammer emails you a fake check, let's say for $4,950. You print it out and deposit it with your mobile banking app. Now here's the trap. By law, your bank has to make those funds available to you pretty quickly, usually in a day or two. So your account balance goes up. It looks like the money is really there, but the check hasn't actually cleared yet. The scammer then pressures you to immediately send $4,500 of that money to their approved vendor for a new laptop. You send it through Zelle or Venmo. Then, a few days later, the original check bounces. Your bank then yanks the full $4,590 back out of your account. You just sent $4,500 of your own money to a thief, and now you owe the bank the rest. It's a brutal, effective trap. So who is this vendor you just sent thousands of dollars to? They're what law enforcement calls a money mule. In this particular story, the so-called vendor was a woman named Kim. But Kim is almost certainly another victim in this whole scheme. Scammers love to prey on lonely people, often through romance scams, and convince them they're in a real relationship. They'll say something like, "Honey, my business partner is sending you some money. Could you just take out a small cut for yourself and then send the rest to me in Bitcoin?" This poor person has no idea they're helping to launder stolen money. So, the scammer thinks the money is on its way. He's getting cocky, impatient, calling and messaging constantly, demanding updates. But here's the thing. Our protagonist isn't a victim. He's a hunter. And now he's about to go on the offensive to unmask the person on the other end of that line. The scammer demands a screenshot as proof of payment. Our hero stalls for a bit, then agrees. But he creates a special link using a service called Grabify. The link is disguised to look like an innocent file name, something like proofofpayment.jpg. But the second the scammer clicks it, it secretly logs his IP address, his location, his device info, everything. It's a digital tripwire. He sends the link and snap, the trap is sprung. The scammer clicks, and the results are fascinating. The IP address says he's in Atlanta, Georgia, but that's just a VPN, a digital mask to hide where he really is. He's on a basic Android phone. But here it is, the mistake, the crucial slip-up. His device's time zone is set to UTC+1. That's West Africa time. Gotcha. He is definitely not in Atlanta. Okay, now for the final move, the checkmate. Remember, to build trust, the scammer had sent a picture of the money mule Kim's driver's license, which showed she lived in Arizona. So our hero gets the scammer on a live phone call, pretending to be Kim's angry husband. After a minute of yelling, he casually asks a simple question that any real American would know instantly. Hey, remind me, what's the capital of Arizona? You can just imagine the silence on the other end of the line, a long, awkward pause. You can almost hear the frantic typing as he Googles the answer. Finally, he responds with one confused word. Phones? He meant Phoenix. He completely butchered the pronunciation. And in that single word, the entire illusion just shatters. Boom. He's exposed. He's not in Arizona, he's not Kim's business partner, and he is for sure not from the United States. He hangs up, the hunt is over. What a story, right? It's so satisfying to see them get exposed. But the crucial point here is to learn how to protect yourself so you never have to get on that phone call in the first place. So let's pivot from hunting scammers to building a fortress around your digital life so they can't even get to you. All right, let's boil it down. Here are the top 5 red flags we saw in this story, and they're the same ones the FBI warns about. 1, they want to move you to Telegram or WhatsApp immediately. 2, the entire interview is done over text. 3, the recruiter is using a generic email like a Gmail address. 4, they insist you have to buy your equipment from their special vendor. And 5, the pay is just ridiculously, unbelievably good for the job described. If you see any of these, just walk away. It's not worth it. But real protection, real protection, goes way beyond just spotting red flags. You have to be proactive. Comprehensive identity protection is built on 5 critical pillars. First, credit monitoring at all 3 bureaus. That's Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. While monitoring just one is like locking your front door but leaving your back door and all the windows wide open. Second, You have to get your info removed from data broker sites. These are those people search websites that sell your personal info to literally anyone. Third, dark web monitoring. This tells you if your passwords get leaked in a data breach. Fourth, you need digital safety tools like a VPN to encrypt your connection. And fifth, insurance and recovery support. Because if the absolute worst happens, you need a team of experts on your side to help you clean up the mess. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Is your digital life actually protected by a fortress, one that covers all 5 of those pillars? Or is it more like a picket fence? With big gaps, a criminal can just easily slip right through. Job scams are just one of the thousands of threats out there. Taking a comprehensive, layered approach to your security is really the only way to stay safe in this crazy connected world we live in. Subscribe to this channel, like and share this video with someone you deeply care about to have a foolproof cyber defense.